squadron leader might be inkling. No, I didn't hear that. I can see your lips moving, but I can't hear anything. Ah, it's great, your lips. I can do this all by, it's a ventriloquist dummy,
So soon you'll hear the 9 Rolls-Royce outdoor engines power up, ready for the takeoff. I'll let you listen in to some of the radio calls as they get ready to depart. 9 abreast on either side of the runway, and Red 5 is going to call when Red 1 is 750 feet in front of Red 4. The 9 headlights come on, you now hear the engines wind up. The pilots now go to full power, and then the front section reduced to 600. Reds 1, 2 and 3 release their brakes. 1 second later, Reds 4 and 5, and 2.5 seconds behind them, Reds 6, 7, 8 and 9. Give them a big wave as they run past you on the runway. You'll shortly see Red 7 on the far right of that back 4. He'll tuck in to form a 4-ship box to the Royal Air Force. The Royal Air Force purpose today is twofold. It's to protect the nation and its interests 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And it's also to provide the nation with choices during times of crisis. It does that fleet, which supports ongoing operations and can deliver humanitarian aid across the globe. We do have a battle-winning capability that is achieved by using very high-end technology, which is used by very capable people. The Royal Air Force aerobatic team's purpose is to demonstrate the strengths and relevance of the Royal Air Force. Most importantly, pulling up at 4G, Red 1 now calls them into short diamond formation, where you'll see the aircraft elapse to around 6 to 8 feet away from each other. They reach 6,000 feet or a mile above us at the top of this loop. Red 1 at the front there is squadron leader Jim Turner. It's his 3rd and final year as the team's leader. He is a former Jaguar pilot by trade, but he's very experienced in the display world, having displayed the Jaguar, spent 3 years previously with the Red Arrows, including leading the synchro pair. But recently he has spent 3 years as the official advisor to the Royal Saudi Air Force's display team. Reds 2 and 3 acknowledge the move to Eagle. They do so with very metronomic cadence in their voices. The idea is that as they count 4 in their heads, the pilots extend their air brakes. And on 6, all the pilots retract their air brakes, which enables all 3 jets on each wing to drop back in unison to form Eagle. And now in from the right, it's the Eagle roll. As the jets go upside down, boys and girls, let's give the pilots a big wave. When the Red Arrows first started flying their displays in 1965, the aircraft they used was the Folland Gnat, and that was the aircraft used by the Yellow Jets team I mentioned earlier. It was the advanced jet trainer in the Royal Air Force at that time. But in 1976, the Hawker Siddeley Hawk entered service, and in 1980, the Red Arrows started using the Hawk, which is the aircraft we still use today. It's now a product of BAE Systems. It's a very successful export, having been sold to over 19 countries across the world, and it still continues to impress in its guise as the advanced jet trainer. The smoke goes off to our front. Reds 4 and 5 have moved forward to now form the shape of the Russian fighter jets, the Su-27. Coming in from the front left, the NATO code word for the Su-27 is flanker.
Say that.
The team are now about to form a very wide shape. Reds 8 and 9 will move to the outside of the formation, and from Red 9's left wingtip through to Red 8's right wingtip, the formation will measure 100 metres or 300 feet. To enable them to keep the formation as well as they manoeuvre around the sky, the outside pilots really have to anticipate their control inputs. And they do that by using the cadence that Red 1 has in his voice commands. But now in from the left, we're going to have some really patriotic red, white and blue. And if you can please, a huge round of applause as they show you Phoenix. In Red 1's voice. On the leader's right wing is the first of our two first-year pilots for 2014. He's Red 2 Flight Lieutenant Stu Campbell. Stu is a former Tucano instructor teaching basic fast jet flying training. He's also been the Tucano display pilot. Operationally, he flew the Tornado GR4. Out to the right, the team have formed our trademark shape, and now in true 1960s and 70s style, all 9 jets will smoke as they fly the diamond roll. Now with the great boys and girls. Formations with the odd-numbered pilots on the left-hand side, the even-numbered pilots fly on the right-hand side. And in their 3-year tour with the team, the pilots will generally start at the front near the leader, and as their proficiency improves, they move further back. On the leader's left wing now is Red 3, and also on the Royal Air Force's new advanced jet trainer, the BAE Systems Hawk T Mark II. Out to the left, the smoke's on, we're forming a very iconic we'll see the formation change again. As they apex the top of here, they'll be about 6,000 feet. The jets will have slowed down to about 150 miles an hour, which means the G has backed off to about 1 G. But as they go over the top, they start coming down the other side, they start accelerating back up to 400 miles an hour. The G's building up to around 4 G. They're now in a shape called feathered arrow. That's a mouthful to say, so we call it Fred. That is the end of the first half of the Red Arrows display, ladies and gentlemen. So far you've seen all 9 aircraft performing close formation. Left for Enid. Who's now going to fly the Goose? Red 9, Flight Lieutenant Mike Child. It's his 3rd and final year as a Red Arrow, a former Hawk pilot, instructor and display pilot, in fact, an operation. He flew the Typhoon. You saw it display earlier, the Royal Air Force's new multi-role combat aircraft. To the right, Enid climbs steeply, but look directly to the front, above the Omega tanker for the Synchro pair. They pull up at 500 miles an hour and 5 G in line astern. The aircraft reach a height. Now keep your eyes to the top left of the heart for another jet as we add a final touch. Coming in from the top left with the smoke on is Red 8. Flight Lieutenant Martin Purty's 3rd and final year with the team, a former Hawk instructor, Hawk display pilot and carrier pilot. Ladies and gentlemen, Synchro and Red 8 with their heart and spear. joined by Reds 8 and 9. In fact, Red 8 came up after spearing the heart. He's just getting into a 7-ship Vixen formation. Pulling up at 4G in that Vixen formation. They're now twisting this loop towards us through 90 degrees in a quarter clover. Now get your cameras ready. This is the vertical break. Left and right again now for the synchro pair. This time, red 6 comes from our right and red 7 from our left. They're closing at 800 miles an hour. They're going to cross 3 times in opposing 360 degree 6G. So they are pulling 6G. Now watch at each of these 3 crosses. The pilots will swap their smoke colours using the individual colour control buttons on the aircraft's control column. Straight above the Flight Safety International building, they are drawing a red, white and blue snake-like shape of smoke in the sky as they fly the Python. Far right of that leaders benefit formation is red 4. He's Flight Lieutenant Ollie Parr. He's a second-year pilot with the team. Ollie is a former Tornado GR4 pilot, but he has spent a tour as a Hawk flying instructor at Royal Air Force Valley on Anglesey, North Wales, where we teach our advanced flying students. Now keep looking towards the left to find Jippo. Red 6 and 7 now roll upside down in close formation. This is the corkscrew. The inside pilots perform tight match rolls to the outside of the formation in the rollbacks. Enid finish their rollbacks. Keep your eyes to the right hand side to find Jippo. Once again, red 6 and 7 are going upside down. The idea now is that reds 8 and 9 will match their formation underneath. In from the right, this is the mirror pass. Now give the synchro pair a wave as they fly past upside down, boys and girls. Red 6 gives the command for the formation to widen as they form a 4-ship square card formation all around the rest of Enid a dozen times. This is the twister.
Can I have the gold agent to go here, yeah? Nobody wants it. Nobody wants it.
Getting very busy with the red smoke is led by Flight Lieutenant Steve Morris. Steve's second year with the team. He's a former Hawk instructor. Operationally, he's flown both the Harrier GR9 and the Tornado GR4 before donning his red suit last year. Hopefully how much you've enjoyed the display. Can we manage that? Oh, they're not going to hear that. It's not very good radio. Into the left, ladies and gentlemen, the white smoke comes on in pyramid formation. Please get your vocal cords warmed up. Into the left, the Royal Air Force Aerobatic Team, the Red Arrows. To position to run in for what we call a